Well, hey guys, I'm setting some traps again now. I come up here the other week and there was dog tracks down. They were coming from under that fence there. They were cutting the corner here to get onto this main track. I've put a trap in just down here and they've got a cable around that tree, and I've got a bit of female bitch urine, on heat bitch urine up in on a rag up in the just in the tree just there. There's a fox has been through. Again, here's his footprint, probably last night in the wet. He's gone back that way. As you saw in the last video, he was coming back this way after he'd been past my camera. So yeah, we'll see how we go, and it's a start. Even if the dogs don't come through there for a couple of days, it won't matter. Just get rid of the my scent from here. Been wallabies through. Can't see any dog tracks, but see what's on the camera. This is my new Cam Park camera. Well, might be a Chinese copy of a Cam Park, I'm not 100% sure because I bought it on eBay, but pretty happy with how the photos and videos of it's taken since so far. We'll see what's on it. Well, there's nothing on the camera other than a few videos of wallabies, so means the dogs haven't been back through here for a few days, so they could be back any day now. Probably won't be long since they generally like travelling around after a bit of rain, so they could even be back this evening yet. We'll see what happens. Alright, we'll keep going. I've just come up the track here a bit further, and it's still pretty wet. I think I might give it all a miss today and see what happens in the next day or two, let it dry out, and then I'll start setting a few more, I think, if I get time. Otherwise it just gets too muddy and it's too hard to disguise the traps, and then it's pretty obvious that there's a trap set there and they'll keep away. So just to play it safe and not educate dogs, I'll just leave that one in the ground and I'll head back and just leave it. I'll have to come back and check it every day, but I won't set any more until it dries out a bit more. Righto, so this morning I'm heading back out. I come out here yesterday, it's still a bit too wet to set traps. The dogs hadn't been back, so I'm heading up here again this morning to check that one I set the other day and hopefully put a fair few more traps in if we can. Just see how we go. Kangaroos are going. Oh, that one nearly slipped over. Right, we're just coming up on the trap here now. Look like we've got anything. No, nothing's been there that I know of. I'll just go up further or check the camera and maybe put a trap over there somewhere. Got two traps set here. I've set one here near the camera on the front of this camera over here. There's been a fox coming here and peeing on this, and the dogs are coming on sniffing on this little bush here. So I've got one trap in there. I put a bone there and sort of scratched around here because to try and camouflage it a bit, because it's had rain, everything else has got a crust on it, so where I've put the trap in I can't really get a crust back on there unless I wet it down, but I don't really want to wet it. I like to have them as dry as possible. So I'll scratch around here, try and disguise it a bit with a bone there and a stick, and try and got the centre of the pan is right here. So I've got a bit of a new lure I've bought from Western Trapping Supplies in Toowoomba. That one, I've got a little tiny bit of war paint on that one there. And then I've got another one over here. Just got a bit of, they call it stinger, it's a gland based scent. Just on that bone over there. And I've got another trap in just in here. So if they come over to this one here and they're a bit hawky about the camera being there and my scent over around here, they're probably going to get a bit of scent over here, but sometimes they hawk around the back. So my idea is, even if I do catch one there, I might get another one milling around here and I might get him there, possibly. All going to plan in an ideal situation anyway. Anyway, we'll go up a bit further and see if we can find another spot. Okay, so got another one set, and just in here. And for the lure, I've got a bit of stinger on that one there. So this is trap set 4 actually. With a bit of stinger. We'll keep going and see if we can find another spot. Trap set 5. I have got the trap set in there. I've got a cable going back and tied onto the log behind there. And I've got a bit of on heat beagle urine, just in a rag soaked in urine underneath the log there, because the predominant winds have been coming in from the west, southwest the last few days, so I'm hoping if the dogs are coming through the track here, the wind will blow the scent and they'll turn around and go back to it. Okay, so just come along here, and the dogs have been along here since the rain. It's the first sign I've seen. Some dog tracks there, and here. You can see as the sand and dirt's all set pretty hard since the rain. So if they're coming through here, I might set a trap in the bottom of this gully somewhere. A bit of a sandy spot. I think it's probably fairly safe now. I hadn't liked setting traps in these gullies because every night the cattle had been coming in, but it's been pretty hot the last couple of nights. So the cattle probably aren't going for the trees in the night time. They'll be heading out into the open where it's a bit cooler. So I might put a trap along here in the bottom of the gully now, and hopefully I can pull one up. Okay, trap set 6. I've got set in here. Here's the path where they've been going on the track. And I've just got the trap in there, and I've got a bit of stinger in there, and a bit of grass just in there. So, and I've set another one up here, set number 7. They've been going up that pad, so I'm walking up this pad to try and hope that they might stay on that pad if they can smell my scent. Now I've got a blind set up there, just the other side of that stick on the wheel mark, and I've got a couple of sticks put up here just to direct them over that way. Hopefully after today a bit of that dirt might settle down a bit, so hopefully they'll go along and veer off from these sticks and get in there. My only risk is catching a wallaby in there doing it here, because there's a lot of wallabies around here at the moment, coming out of the thick scrub here, out here to feed at night. So I just hope that there wasn't a lot of sign here on the track. So I'm hoping they're going in down the gully here and up here more so than there. But that's one of the risks you take. Usually your chances are pretty high of catching dogs in gullies. For some reason they seem to feel a bit safer in the gully or on top of a ridge where they like to get up on top of things to look out, to check out the area. But whenever you see a dog, first thing they do if they see you, they take off, and if there's a gully around they head for the gully or a timberline, but generally a gully. They just get in there and they disappear and you don't see them again. 9 times out of 10. So anyway, we'll move up and maybe set another one up further yet. Yeah, this is trap set 8. I've just put a blind set, well, not really. I put a trap here right on the wheel mark. The dog's been coming in here. It's sort of up on the top of this bit of a rise. They can stop here and look out over there. I was going to put it right at the top, but there's a lot of wallaby marks, a lot of wallaby tracks up there. So the wallaby's been coming out up the top and going out into here. So I'll come down the hill a bit. There's been a big boar pig walk through here in the wet. But there's a bit of a drain I've put in here with the grader a while ago. A bit of a bush here, so it's sort of like a bit of a standout bush. So it's right on the edge of the track, and I've got a bit of war paint lure on that. Just a tiny stick I put in there in the middle of that tuft of grass. So the dogs becoming, the footprints, the last tracks are going that way. If they come back on the same path, the wind's coming from this way, they should come in and smell that, and even if they walk around and step on the trap right there. That's the plan anyway. Doesn't always work the way you think it will, but the more experience you get, the more, wouldn't say the more lucky you get, but sometimes practice pays off. So you can come down here and trap all you like, if the dogs are pretty cunning. Sometimes it doesn't matter what you try, they're still going to outsmart you. So hopefully I've done it all right, and their mind isn't on the trap, it's on what they're smelling, and they come and put their foot where it needs to be put. Anyway, it's getting hot now. I might go and do some work, I reckon. I'll see you down the tracks. Well, that was wasn't what we were expecting to find. And a bit of a mess. But there we go, here's a cunning little fox. What is it, a male? He was here only 150 metres from my boss's house. He's probably been looking at the chooks. You reckon he might have been a fox around here. The dog had been barking in the middle of the night. So yeah, good to get that fella down. What do you reckon, Henry?
Good.
That's good, isn't it?
What happened to his teeth?
Yeah, you want to look at his teeth? Look at that. Yeah. Sharp teeth. Well, I just scalped that fox and cut open his gut, and when I shot him, when I first saw him, he was sort of looking the other way. I didn't even see his eyes. Thankfully he was only about 20-30 metres or 40 metres from the ute, and he was looking the other way at something, and I had a shot and I was moving and leaning on the top of the ute door, and the door was moving, and I just didn't take my time enough and shot, and I missed him, and 2 rat kangaroos took off from not far in front of the fox. I reckon he'd been stalking them, and when I cut his gut open, he's eaten one as well, so I found bits of the feet and everything in his gut from him, so he won't be eating any more of them. So anyway, we'll keep going and see what else we can find. Okay, so I'm just heading down the paddock here, and I reckon I've just seen some eyes up ahead in the torch. I reckon another fox up there is just going to sneak up and see if I can get him. well, that didn't really work. I don't know what happened, whether the rifle's not quite shooting straight or what happened, or whether I just had too much adrenaline and was moving too much. I don't know, but anyway, we'll go up and I'll just have a check over the traps while I'm up here, just make sure there's nothing set them off, or see if I've got a dog in any of them. Okay, so just come up here. I see in a torchlight there's a pair of eyes up near where one of the traps is. I'm just coming past the camera here. These traps are still fine, so I might have a dog or something in this trap up ahead. I think it's a dog. A pair of green eyes. Yep. A dog in the trap. If I didn't come here this evening and check him, he would have been stuck here all night. So let's hope he's got a mate up further. He's one of the younger ones I saw the other day. He's not the old one, unfortunately. But anyway, still good. I'll go and dispatch him and see what else we got. Woo! Woo! To go a bit closer on foot. Hey mate. Hold still, mate. Alright. Young male, hasn't been caught here for a long time. Wonder whether there's any more of his mates up further. Well, look at that, so it's only just got him by 3 toes. So, decent sized dog still. Anyway, we'll get him out the trap and reset it. Well, you can see that. It's caught him by the toes. Just been holding him. No damage to his feet. This is that one dog. I saw he's probably only last year's pup. Probably the mate to that first one I got here. Just about in the same place. Yeah, it was just about here. That'll be the hole where I caught the last one. Right there. And that was the last trapping run I did. This is probably a brother to that one. He hasn't got as much white on as him though. Anyway, nonetheless, he's a full grown dog. So the one I got on the trail camera, it was sniffing at that little bush. I'll put a bit of the footage over there just from the trail camera. But yeah, good to get this one down. I got him in this. For those of you who don't know what from other videos of what put up, Western Trapping Supplies number 3, which is just a modified Bridger 3. So I really like these traps. Anyway, we'll go and get him back to the ute, and I'll go and bring the ute back up here, and I'll put this trap in the ground in case we get another one come in and get caught in the same spot. I quite like this spot. It's just up the top of this gully here. I've caught a lot of dogs just just along this little strip here. So it's a beautiful night to be out tonight. There's hardly any breeze, and it's just nice and calm and beautiful temperature. So, shame I missed that fox before though, but certainly made up for it to get this one here now, this dog. So, good to be out, good night to be out and about. Yeah, so I wasn't planning on being out late. I thought, oh, while I'm down here I'll go up and check the traps just in case there's wallabies or something to set them off, and gotta go and reset one tonight yet, but just as well I made the effort and come down. Typical though, usually when you don't plan on being out for long, that's when you find more stuff. But anyway, I got time tonight, so just as well. Okay, so I've just got this reset now. That's where I shot him in there, there's a bit of his poo there, a bit of blood and a bit more poo in here. And it's got the trap back in here in this bare spot, so if any of his mates come around here sniffing around, hopefully we might be able to get one of them too. Hopefully the big fella. He'll be the cunning one that's hard to catch. Well, I've just been up and checked all the traps again this morning. There was no dogs this morning, but I had 3 traps set off from wallabies. But I've pulled one of these traps up. I'm not sure what's set it off or what's wrong with it or what's happened to it. I don't know whether you can see that bottom main frame of it is bent, because I see it's set off and those springs are protruding above the lugs, and they're both bent sideways. I don't know whether a cow or something has come along and stepped on it and just sort of bent it out of shape a bit, unfortunately. I might have to read in here, put in a vise and try and straighten her up a bit, I think. Anyway, see how we go. Okay, there you go. Looks a little bit straighter. I just stripped the whole trap down and pulled all the springs off and get it in the vise and straightened it up. It looks a lot better than what it did. Still not sure what actually bent it. There didn't see any cattle footprints there, but I don't think I've driven over it. It was right on the, pretty much on the edge of the wheel mark of the track, but I've been driving wide of it. Don't think anyone else has been driving along there either. Anyway, I'll keep going, and I'll check the trail camera as well. And have a look at this cat. There's at least one more over here to get yet. Probably a lot more than that, but anyway, I know there's one over there to get. Coming along again here this morning and checking these traps. There's one right in front of the camera had gone off, but it must have caught whatever it was. There was heaps of videos of wallabies, and I'm going to check out this big boar pig that went past, but nothing so far. Just checking here this trap where I got the dog the other night. Nothing there. Keep going. And all the wallabies put his foot on the trap there last night, but he didn't get caught, thankfully. The one up here in the middle of the track is set off. I might actually, it's the second time it's been set off now. So I might just pull him up, I think. Got the pig track, the pig's been along here. Pig might have set him off actually. Hasn't been caught or anything, the chain is still underneath the trap. Oh, well. I'll pull him up, and I've only got 4 traps left in the ground now. First of all, the wallabies keep setting them off, so I decided just to pull them up so it's not, don't end up catching a wallaby or something in them. But anyway, head off and see you again tomorrow.